So I'm going to talk about now an application of the OpenAI assistants that we've implemented. So this is the CFDE, NIH CFDE program. It's a program that we're very involved in, and that we're actually creating the portal for. So we're the data resource center, and the Common Fund data ecosystem has sort of a variety of data coordinating centers, all of which have different data types. And the goal is to sort of bring that data together and enhance the ability to ask scientific questions about this data across these different diverse data sets. And we've been sort of building the landing page or the portal for this program over the past 6 months. One of the partnerships, so a sort of collection of multiple of these DCCs working together on a project, is the Playbook Workflow Builder, which was originally developed by Daniel Clark in our lab. And this provides standardization of a bunch of different API endpoints from these different DCCs, thus that we can sort of build workflows that use these APIs and use different processing steps to get from some input that can be changed variably to some output. So on the right here, we have one of the use cases that we developed, which finds novel cell surface targets for individual cancer patients analyzed with these Common Fund data sets. So this is a really cool platform, and I definitely recommend that you check it out if you're interested. So how does this actually apply to what we're doing? Well, we wanted to create a chatbot for this site, and we specifically wanted two sort of main things for it to be able to do. One is to be able to access DCC data and to provide it to users, and then we also want it to be able to access and respond with accurate information about the CFDE and the relevant DCCs. So to accomplish this, we can use two parts of this assistance API functionality that I discussed. One is the information retrieval. So we're going to have a document that details a bunch of information about the CFDE and the DCCs that it can grab information from to accurately sort of give information back to the user. And then with function calling, we can define functions that call the Playbook API, which already integrates a bunch of DCC data. And we can call discrete workflows that we've already built to provide data back to the user based on sort of discrete questions. We can also use the system prompt to make sure that this chat isn't going to answer questions that aren't relevant to the CFDE or aren't in the document that we've provided to it. So we're really just focused on very vetted information. So this is an example of how this works in action. So we have a example prompt here. Which L1000 drugs would most significantly up or down regulate this gene STAT3? So we're going to send that to our OpenAI assistant. It's going to recognize that query is sort of registered as a function or a tool that it has access to. And that function actually goes and queries the Playbook API, sends that information back to our assistant, and then we can visualize it with a component or a React component that we already have defined in our repository. So we're produced with this scatter plot and table of the corresponding data, and we can see that we actually also have this option to go then open it in the Playbook. So we've executed this workflow through the Playbook, and now if a user wanted, they could go extend or modify this workflow actually on the Playbook platform. And similarly for the information retrieval, if we were to ask about a specific DCC, such as HubMap, which is the Human Biomolecular Atlas program, then we'll see that we actually get this description. And this is directly from the CFDE text. So it's going to notice that this query is very similar to a portion of the text in that index document. It's going to provide that information back to our model. And then it's going to use that to provide an answer to our user. So this is just, again, helping ensure accuracy in our responses. So this is the actual, what the interface looks like. We have some example queries. We have some text-to-speech and speech-to-text, which uses those GPT models I talked about earlier. And it's available on this URL down here. If you'd like to, it's public and you can check it out and play around with it. So this was sort of one use case of this assistance API. There's certainly many different things you can do with it. And one sort of nice resource that OpenAI has that I'd recommend looking at is the cookbook. So this isn't sort of the plain API docs, but instead actual use cases and walkthroughs of implementing very specific tasks with the various endpoints and Python packages that they offer. So a nice resource to look at.